What's going on, everyone? Justin here from the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. Want to go ahead and talk to you guys about something that's been going on that's pretty special. We actually got a chance to interview a handful of guests back in January as they were putting on a theater play down there at the Community Arts Center in Fairfield, Ohio. A play that was written and directed by Terry Chappell II, and it is presented by Enlightened Studios. That is Love's Not Enough, a assembled of cast seasoned actors who tell a story of struggles of their relationships. Together they endure conflicts of life in a dose of reality, and it was a huge success. They blew it out of the water. And with that being said, they got the chance to come back on here and put on an encore. Easter weekend coming up, April 7th, they'll have a show at 7 p.m. and then on April 8th they'll come back and put on the final show at 3 p.m. So I suggest getting your tickets early because they're they're starting to sell quickly. And listen, we are conducting interviews again, getting a chance to sit down with both the cast members and some of the audiences. Great group of people. I definitely encourage you to listen into these interviews. And if you guys are in the area and you guys have opening times Easter weekend, come out and check the performance. You guys get your tickets today at the Community Arts Center in Fairfield, Ohio. And thank you guys for listening and enjoy the interview.
Like no one cares. Where is your heart? What does it look like? Bruised, damaged, or mistreated. Where is your heart? What does it look like? What do you do with the feelings you feel?
What is everyone doing?
Wonderful.
Great. How are you?
Doing wonderful. So just a quick around the board here. I got just have everyone introduce themselves if you don't mind. We'll start off Christina.
Sure. I'm Christina Flowers, and I'm pretty new as a board member to Enlightened Studios, and I'm so pumped about it, and I'm glad to be here. Thank you so much for having us.
Well, thank you for taking the time.
Yeah.
Terry.
Terry.
I'm Terry Chappell II. I'm actually the co-owner of Enlightened Studios, the writer and now actor and director in the upcoming production, Love's Not Enough.
My name is Nikelle Chappell. I am co-owner of Enlightened Studios, and I am the executive producer as well of Love's Not Enough.
Well, I want to first off and thank you guys for taking the time. I know the schedule was kind of we've had to rearrange the schedule for to make all this work, and I appreciate it. But so this is the upcoming play, Love's Not Enough. We had a set of interviews back in January, and that was a hit. Enjoyed doing it. We're going to be doing them again, and you guys are getting a chance to kind of do an encore weekend, correct? April 7th and April 8th, Easter weekend, where you guys, before you guys, I guess, hit on the road, try to share the message out to everybody. You guys can, perform because you guys had a really good hit. Terry, can you explain to us, about the type of success that you guys had back in January?
Well, I'll just say that first, thank you for having us this evening, Justin. This is incredible. We really did enjoy ourselves last time, and thank you for having us back for a second time. I was speechless, and to actually say to a point where Christina, that's how she got on board, because she was just raving about how good the production was. And, she just caught my attention because she had so much to say about it. And, I was just, I don't want to say starstruck, but I was, because it was just the way that the audience received the many messages that's within this production just blew the cast. Everyone that was involved just blew their mind. We knew that it was going to be good, but how good? I mean, it was off the chart.
So one of the stories I was told was that you guys had a line of an audience, fans, ready to enter in the theater before you guys even opened. As you guys were arriving, there was already people lined up, and that's what I was told. And correct me if I was wrong, but it was so successful. You guys are getting a chance to go back and do it again. 2 performances only. Got one at 7 p.m. on April 7th, and then on April 8th, you got one at 3 p.m. Terry, you've had a couple of cracks at this, right? You had one done in 2019, a revamped version that we had back in 2000 earlier this year, and now you're doing it again. What has gone through your mind, through your experience, getting a chance to put on this play as a director and an actor, right? And to see the type of reaction that you're getting from the community?
Well, it just motivates me to do more. God's people want what's real. People want what's real. This is not a Mary Poppins or Wizard of Oz or anything just made up. These stories are real stories. I'll say 20% of the production is actually true stories from what I have taken from some of the cast members' lives. Everything else is pretty much just downloaded into me to write and just give people hope. So
Terry, you're the one who's created this play. You're cast of this play. You're also part of the play. We have 2 new people here joining us this evening that has not been interviewed before. We'll start off with Christina. You're new to the cast, right?
Yes.
When did you officially start? Kind of after the January's performance, is that correct?
That is correct. I was actually an audience member, so I got to experience being the audience of the show. It was amazing. I was super impressed, and honestly, it was literally like a journey that you got to go through with the cast. So you got to experience all these emotions, and it really hit home. It was like reality. So it was super relatable, and it also, like you said, gave hope and increased your faith almost. It's like I almost left feeling like my heart was full. So I had to reach out to Terry and say, "Hey, incredible! Like amazed."
Yeah. So I kind of already know this answer, but I guess for audience purposes, and I'm not trying to put Enlightened Studios on blast or anything like that, but you come in, you get welcomed by Enlightened Studios. They're a wonderful team. It's more than just a team. It's a family. Can you share your experience being able to work, adapt, get caught up with everything, so that you're ready for whatever, for your role for April 7th and April 8th?
Yeah, so I'm actually executive assistant and board liaison. So I'll be assisting with the production, and also my experience comes in finance and also other administrative and clerical experience. So I've also had some acting and some singing experience. So I'll be bringing literally everything that I have to Enlightened Studios. So I'll just be bringing all that experience in, and they've been super welcoming, super friendly. I noticed quickly that Terry will have a vision and he'll execute. So I'm actually really proud and really honored to be a part of such a great team. Everyone's encouraging. Everyone's kind. They have the spirit of excellence, and I love it.
One thing I've also learned, and I'll give you, I got to tip my hat to you, Terry, and everyone a part of Enlightened Studios, because it's not just about, building. It's about making sure that everyone else gets an opportunity to grow and branch off into their own. Right. I was talking to one of your cast members earlier this week, and she's thriving herself thanks to the success and the platform that, Enlightened Studios has created. And she's working on, becoming, taking her own path also. So we're also welcoming, is it Nikelle, right? That just
Yes.
want to make sure I'm saying that right. You're new all to this. This is the first time we're seeing you. So if you don't mind, just a little bit more information about yourself and the role that you play and part of all of this.
Yes. So again, my name is Nikelle Chappell. I am the wife of Terry Lee Chappell. So actually, he and I started this company back in 2018. So I'm not really new. I'm just hidden.
Yeah.
But I handle. I'm the CFO, so I handle all the financing and getting us money so we can keep growing, as well as the executive producer. So I'm kind of calling the shots behind the scenes. I enjoy working with the cast and working with the crew. And like you said, they're very much like family. So we're a ministry first. We love to say that we're a ministry first. And we are a fine arts and theater and film company second. So it's really just to give God the glory, the honor. That's what we're here for. And we want to treat our cast and crew and audience like family when they come and visit us and stay with us. And we bring a lot of volunteers just from our audience who want to participate and grow with us.
So as Terry, as you grow, Enlighten Studios, as you grow on the production, you saw such a huge success, and you also had to step in yourself and play one of the main cast members. So as you're focusing on the production of the play, you're really relying on Nikelle and Christina to kind of help you take a load off of you, and that's a unity. Can you kind of share your insights of kind of like, how has everything been able to kind of sync together to make all this possible?
Well, I mean, I have to give Nikelle all the credit. She really rocked it. Backstage, she was up in the booth. She was controlling the running along with the script and controlling the sound, the lighting, you name it. And she's calling the shots. We have two other stage managers that's backstage, and they're all communicating. Now, I will say that me being, first time acting, I was thrown in there, but all along it was the setup, because we casted Brandon, the role Brandon, who actually playing me. We casted that role 3 times. And what I would do is I would fill in during rehearsals. I would fill in for that role, and so that role wouldn't be missed, or so that my scene partner would be able to rehearse properly. So it was kind of a setup for me to get ready to take on, that lead role. But it's just been phenomenal the way that Nikelle operated everything. I remember there were a few times where I'm backstage waiting for my next scene, and here I am trying to direct and get ready for my scene, and they're like, "No, you be quiet. Nikelle said to do this. You need to be quiet. You're acting right now." So I had to learn to back off, let Nikelle run it, and bringing Christina on board, to assist as much as possible. We just want to run it and make it everything goes smoothly, where the cast can enjoy themselves, and especially the audience.
So we're talking about Love's Not Enough. April 7th, April 8th, right? 2 more performances. There's kind of hints that how are you guys or how are you, I've been told you guys are adding things, maybe changing, tweaking a little things here and there. What's going to be a little bit different that the audience can look forward to seeing this time around than just the one that we saw about 2 months ago?
Well, you're going to see Brandon more.
Okay.
I'll say that. We will see Brandon more. We will see Brandon get to interact with some of the other cast members, which is actually feedback that we got from the audience. And one thing that I like to do is I like to get reviews from not only the cast, but also the audience, because I want to make it as good as possible. Being a director and writer, you can't see everything. And a lot of times when writing, it's almost like looking through the eye of a scope. You only see what you can see. So, opening up to others and allowing feedback has been, I think, is what has helped this production be so successful.
All right, so Nikelle, you're doing a lot of the work behind production, a lot of things that a lot of times you don't get the not the attention, but the credit for, right? And we like to make sure you get enough credit. So coming into this time around, right? This is from 2 months, right? After 2 months from your last time around. Is there things that you get worried about still, or things that you're trying to work on getting better at, or as a team working behind the scenes trying to get better? Is there a different game plan than the first time approaching it? You know what I'm saying? Kind of just what is the new forefront, focus and coming this time around?
So I would say back in January, I think it was just nerves in general, being nervous about, will the show sell? Will people really enjoy what we're gifting them? And that was just nervous energy, I believe. And then once we got started, it was so comfortable. So this time around, I feel as if it's going to be 10 times better because we've already run through it a couple times and we know the blocking, we know the lighting and the sound effects, everything is already in place. So it's kind of just putting small little finishing touches on what we all have already created. So I wouldn't say there's too much that I'm worried about. In general, it's really has become comfortable now. And you're just kind of adding the little tweaks here and there to perfect what we've already put together.
Christina, this is your first time around. This coming up here in April, you're gonna, from watching it in the audience, now being behind the scenes and being a part of making this all possible and creating the magic, out there on the stage. Kind of what is going through your mind? Are you nervous? Are you do you have a game plan set in your head that say, all right, this is how I'm going to be able to contribute? Kind of what's going through your mindset right now, knowing that this is going to be a completely different experience for you?
Yeah, I am super excited. I'm not nervous just yet. I'm just going to be available and ready for whatever needs to be done. I just want to be a part of what God is doing, and I can't be more excited than that. I'm just so excited.
So, Love's Not Enough, April 7th, April 8th. Tickets are still available, but I've been told you should be able to get them online, because you may not be able to get them at the door. Because I know that it's going to be packed, and hopefully it is packed. A big weekend. What made you guys decide hey, Easter weekend was going to be the perfect time slot for Love's Not Enough again?
Well, that was pretty much the executive producer's decision. So I'll let her answer that.
So actually it was God's decision, the Holy Spirit. We prayed, and there was absolutely no other time we could have done it if we wanted to, because the facility was booked before and after that date. The only reason that date was available was because people they're closed. The facility is actually closed for Easter weekend. So I definitely have to give props to Jason, who is over the manager over Fairfield Community Arts Center. Yes. He riled the troops and got the volunteers to step in and said, hey, you'll get time and a half if that's something that you are interested in doing. And people enjoyed it so much the first time that they said they would come in on that holiday, and that's how we were able to get it.
I think that's a blessing in disguise, because the moral, focus point of the play and the story, it's all related, all connected. to the weekend as well. I know we talked about in the past about trying to expand, trying to grow, take this on the road. Have you had any luck in the coming up here in the future, having this go on the road and travel a little bit?
So that's definitely the talk.
Yeah.
And that's something that we will certainly go after once we come to the table after the production. We really want to get this message out and get it around to people. People need to hear these stories. We had one audience member who was looking for me, but I was so afterwards, and this was one of the shows in January. She was so touched by the story that she broke down crying and wanted to thank me for writing her story. Now, I've never met this woman. However, it was very honoring and it humbled me that I was able to write someone's story that I never even met. And I'll just tell you a little bit about the story. The story was she gave up her kid for adoption 30 years ago. So she carried that burden for 30 years. And because of what she saw in the production, she felt that burden lifted off of her. So it gave her hope and allowed her to be grateful for giving her kid up for adoption and not going, the other way.
Because, after hearing everyone's role, what the story is about, and the true message about what you're trying to perceive, it's true to the testament here that almost everybody that watches this play can relate in some way, shape, or form, even if it's that small scene, that only gets like 2 minutes of its time. They can always relate to, one of the, stories that are being told, because it's not just about, Brandon and his story. It's everyone has a different message and a different role they play to, send the message to the audience. Well, we're looking forward to this play coming up April 7th. Do you want to talk a little bit more about details and what we should be doing and looking for?
Well, I will say one thing is for sure. I encourage to get your tickets ahead of time. If you have to come to the venue 2-3 hours early just to pick up your tickets, hey, there's an Applebee's right down the street. You can go have lunch or a dinner and enjoy yourself before the show. But I really, really, really encourage everyone to purchase their tickets early because we're starting on time. Last time, all 3 shows, we started late because the line was out the door and everyone wanted to wait last minute to get their tickets. And we didn't want them to miss the show. So this time we have to start the show on time because we want to get everyone in and out at a decent time. So
tickets are still the same, correct? 20, is it? Can you go over that again?
Nikelle?
It's $25 for stadium and $30 for orchestra.
Okay. And it's $5 more at the door, I believe?
No, we're actually going to leave it the same at the door, correct?
That's good to know. And then you could get your tickets online at the Fairfield Community Arts Center website?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay. And there's going to be held 2 performances, all right? Just 2 performances, one at 7 on April 7th, right? And one at 3 p.m. on April 8th. And then what time does the doors open?
So we're actually thinking of possibly opening them earlier because we have vendors interested in also participating. So we want to give our vendors enough time. So maybe an hour to an hour and a half before the show to open the doors. And
I know Easter weekend's a big weekend for a lot of people, a lot of families. What's kind of like the duration of the actual play from start to finish, usually an estimate time?
anywhere from 2.5 hours. I'll say this. This production is like watching a movie on stage. Would you agree, Christina? Because she was the one I was asking her so many questions. Like, she's been coming to our rehearsals now, and she's getting a chance to see the behind the scenes or how we're getting everything prepared, and she's seeing the changes. And a lot of times I'm looking for her reaction, and I'm like, ooh, that must be good. So I've been asking her so many questions about the difference in this go around for this production versus what we did in January, and thus far she's really enjoying the changes.
So you say about 2.5 hours, maybe 3 hours, depending. I mean, but hey, listen, it's a theater play. It has a lot of inspiring messages. Don't put a time frame on it. Give you guys, give the audience, whoever's going to come and watch it enough time. Hey, give yourself enough time to actually watch it through and through, because you don't want to miss a point. It just, you mentioned that, Terry, brought up a very good question I got to ask both you, Christina, and Nikelle. How much of being behind scenes, watching how the actual production, and the actors, those roles on the screen help you contribute to put to the final product that, that comes April 7th and April 8th? You know what I'm saying? Like, how much of you guys having to watch that helps you, contribute to the final product?
Well, as far as me, it helps me see, like, first of all, seeing the process, I've noticed them growing in confidence, but it also helps me to see where they can be helped, as far as like, I guess, areas that they're not as confident in or need help in. So I just look for ways that I can help in that way. Honestly, other than that, they've been amazing. Like, they're awesome on stage, awesome off stage. So it's been really cool to see behind the scenes and all the hard work that they put in.
I would say definitely making them feel comfortable backstage and giving them, we actually have massage therapists that come in and give them massages to kind of relax them. They put on their headphones and go into just a zone to get into character, practice, blocking on stage and off, feeding them well. They're well taken care of. Everyone has to eat. That is the rule. So
that was one of my biggest, interesting things to know. Last time around was like in between, in between shows and all the stuff after shows. But listen, it's gonna be a fun time, and this is only the bottom what you guys are capable of doing, and I can't wait to see what more has to come. And I hope that as you guys take it on the road, that I can get you guys back on here again and start promoting that, and just keep on talking about you guys and the, more, future performances you guys have to come.
Absolutely. We can actually do a podcast from every city that we go to. Justin, how about that?
It's not hard at all, and definitely getting you guys out there. Well, Christina, Terry, Nikelle, thank you guys for your time. I appreciate talking with you guys, and I look forward to seeing you guys, and good luck April 7th, April 8th. Love's Not Enough. Tickets are available. Get them now. Community Arts Center, Fairfield, Ohio.
Thank you so much, Justin.
Thank
you. A lot. Take care.
You guys take care. Have a great one.
You too. Have a good one, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.